Okay, here we go.
Chace and Hunter, talk it out.
Talking it out.
EP1. Hey, kitty cat. So I think the loose what category that we're gonna try to stay, the lane that we're gonna try to stay in, and we're trying to hit recovery.
Yeah, it's probably not going to go very well. I mean, you know, it's the first time. We might start talking about comics. Who knows?
But we're gonna try to stay on task and try to talk it out.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, recovery. I don't think we can have the conversation about recovery without first discussing UFOs. Our government came out and said that our government, like our CIA,
they're not telling me anything I didn't already suspect.
Well, yeah,
that's like telling me they found cancer.
Well, suspecting and knowing two different things. Like, we suspected this for a long time, but they kind of came out and confirmed that they have recovered, keyword, non-terrestrial craft, is what Joe Rogan said, and I believe him.
Well, you know, that guy's got a lot of pull.
Yeah.
He gets in a lot. He gets in a lot of ears, and he stays there.
He got Bob Lazar. I don't know how hard that was to do, but
I saw a really weird documentary on Bob Lazar from some no-name YouTuber who kind of makes me suspect of him. He made some good points,
like
basically
like
just
detracting
basically just saying that guy's kind of sketchy. He's into some weird stuff.
There's a lot of holes in
Something
there.
about like pimping out hoes and things like that.
Yeah, he did that. He did that.
It's really weird.
Well, look, just because you're a wild guy doesn't mean, like, there lots of wild dudes have made it to the top. Hitler, for one. He's a pretty wild dude.
Think just because a guy reads comics he can't start some shit?
Right? Right.
That's a fair point.
I'm going to get that tattooed on me. But yeah, no, Bob Lazar, like, yeah, he ran some hookers. He did, he was a propulsions expert. That checks out, because he had a fucking jet bike, which is, I believe anything that motherfucker says. If you make a jet bike in your backyard, I believe any fucking thing you say.
Well, that's a good set of credentials. I mean, if a guy's going to make a jet bike, you should listen to him. You should at least hear him out once. I ain't never made no jet bike.
Yeah. People listen. I have kids. They
you
listen
hear about
to
this, you know about like all that stuff they were doing. Like, it's basically just a guns and fireworks festival in the desert that they were having, or something like that. Are you talking
about the Lazar thing that he was taking his friends to? And they were trying to film? Yeah. Like, they were just, that doesn't seem very, like, if I'm going to be secretive, I don't think I'm going to be flying it out over towns and shit like that.
The guy was basically working for Area 51 and going to, like, the guns and fireworks show.
Right.
And probably getting drunk and talking about it. You know, I don't remember the
the
whole story very well, but more than likely there was a couple of guys he told about that.
You think Bob Lazar smokes pot?
I think that's a little kiddie pool for him, probably.
He's probably smoking space weed.
That or he has concocted drugs of his own.
Right. Right, though? I can't think of, I don't know elements, so I can't say, like, manganese. I don't know. Fuck. Can we start over? I fucked up so bad late. Already.
It's good to go on a ramble to start anyway. Yeah. All right, you gotta throw curveballs right out of the bat.
You gotta recover
right
from
out of the gate. Yeah. You gotta recover.
Recovering UFOs, though, like, I'm fascinated with this. This is something I've always, like, I'm freaked the fuck out by aliens, first of all, because I think they're fucking real. Like, I'm not worried about ghosts. I'm not worried about, like, Bigfoots, chupacabras, shit like that. Like, right. I'm not bothered by that because it seems so obviously fake. But the concept of, like, intelligent life that far surpasses our own, like, that makes a lot of sense because we're fucking dumb.
We are dumb.
Like, we're really dumb.
The universe is a massive place. Even the observable universe is so incredibly massive to us.
Yeah.
And it's just a drop in the bucket by comparison to what it is as a whole.
Yeah, we just got to Mars, and we didn't even get to Mars. We sent
we threw robots
at
Mars.
Threw robots at Mars. That's how we interact with the world. Throw robots at the shit.
Right.
Yeah. beyond that, I think also recovery. I do want to touch on my back problems.
Your back problems?
And recovering from that.
I mean, if you want to go there.
But this has been an absolute motherfucker for me. Like, this is some dick in the dirt. Like, it sucks. Like, I'm squatting, man. Like, I'm banging 25s. That's what I'm up to right now.
That's better than the bar.
It's better than the bar.
But I understand what you mean. I mean,
it's discouraging.
You've got a double whammy up with that, too, though. It's like a physical and mental blow that you have to recover from at the same time.
Dude, ain't it, though? I think the mental's almost worse.
I'd say it is. I mean, that's pretty much all I've been dealing with. It's not from the same thing, but it's affected other parts. It's affected how I work out. I mean, I haven't even been barely working out over the past month because sometimes it's just too much to deal with. I've been hurt before. I haven't been hurt like you. I mean, we both had, like, spells where, like, we tweak our back, maybe get a little pull on something.
Right.
Need to lay off for about 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
I mean, that's nothing. I mean, everybody does that.
Yeah. And to be fair, it's probably good to lay off for a week or so every now and then. It's probably a good idea just to get a full recovery in there. That's assumption on my part. I don't know this to be true, but I'm guessing it seems.
I would
like a
say
good idea.
it's probably a good idea for regular people. I mean, when you think about things like deload weeks that people go on about, where they just cut back on what they lift, it's probably good to do that too. But it's probably good to do a full, just let yourself fully recover.
What's a deload?
Deloads where they don't lift as much.
It's like a light week?
It's just like going light. It's something that I think people that are
similar.
very into fitness, maybe that's their job. So they don't want to lay off for a week doing nothing at all. They want to, but they still need to do something. So they just cut back.
You say that. I listened. Ronnie Coleman was talking about whenever he was bodybuilding, and I like the shit out of Ronnie Coleman. Not as much after listening to him talk about being a cop. Like him talking about being a cop right after the whole George Floyd thing. Like that was that was uncomfortable.
Some of the stuff he talked about, it's just kind of like. That's just the mindset that certain people have, regardless of any color they are.
Well, what bothers me is this is like, so there's a lot of animosity towards police, whether it's deserved or not, is whatever. But Ronnie Coleman didn't do him any fucking favors by going on there and being like that big motherfucker going on there and being like, oh, I looked for fights. Like nobody wanted to fight me because I was so
right.
big.
He'd go in one moment he was like, well, they couldn't get away with that. There's no way you get away with stuff like that. And he's like, hell yeah, I look for fights.
And then the same breath,
nobody's gonna fight me. I have to go fight other people.
I fuck a motherfucker up. I jump in their fights.
It's like, can't get him on. Nobody gonna mess with me.
It's gotta be horrifying though if you're like a regular. Like little me size, just 150, 160 pound puss ass, and you're a cop, and you get in a bit of a scrap with a meth head, you're probably doing all right, And then it's sort of like if you're two goats, and these two goats are fighting and they're butting heads, and then all of a sudden a fucking grizzly bear just comes out of the woods and mauls both of them.
Right?
Like, that'd be horrifying no matter whose side he's on. It'd be terrifying. Anyhow, he was talking about when he was bodybuilding. And I think Jay Cutler did some shit like this too. But whenever he would he'd go do a show, do a meet or whatever the fuck they are. He'd show up, do that, in his prime, working out, juice to the gills, eating right. It's huge, it's beautiful. And then after that, he would take 3 months of just eating pizzas and living like shit.
Oh yeah, I remember him saying that too. He's like they'd leave the show, then go and have Pizza Hut and McDonald's and all that stuff ready. They'd go hit that, then they'd go to the strip club or something.
Yeah.
I was like, first things first, I'm gonna get this pizza. Right.
Pussy's good, but pie's better.
But I hadn't had pizza in 6 months. Get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah, dude. But it didn't listen to him talk about it, listen to Jay Cutler talk. Jay Cutler would be living my life, drinking beer and smoking weed and cigarettes and stuff. Or I don't know how to smoke weed, but there's pictures of him smoking cigarettes and drinking beer and shit like that, which is a pretty particularly unbodybuilder-esque thing to do. Like I said, that's my life. That's what I do. I treat my body like dog shit.
Right.
These guys are peak of the peak, and they're living worse than I am in the off time. So I mean, they're kind of like, fuck recovery. Like, let's just destroy this shit.
Oh, I think that's probably. I mean, that's a different type of recovery too. That's a different type of mental.
It's more
recovery.
like a decompressing almost.
Yeah, you're just letting off that stress, which that probably helps to keep you from getting into those ruts or
Burnouts
that burnout where you feel like you don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
But that's all. Like I said, that's also like just it's
probably really crucial on that level too, because if you're operating at that like that capacity where you're like, you know, the world's best built man, you know, like Ronnie Coleman was for like ever. So you live in that life, and like it'd probably be really easy to get burnt out to, and you probably only achieve that if you really fucking want it. So that's probably the most important thing is like maintaining that mentality.
1% type people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Those are the people that observe anabolic windows and don't drink beer.
At least for probably
until they have their off season.
Until they have that, yeah.
Until they hit the pizza bar.
No, getting back on the horse after you're hurt like that is definitely it's hard because I mean we've talked about this already, but it's just you automatically want to go right back into what you were doing.
Yeah,
it feels kind of, I don't know, maybe demoralizing is too heavy of a word. But
I don't feel like it. Like that was very demoralizing for me. It's very discouraging. Like I had like the hardest time. Like I still like I can lift now, and like I said, I'm banging 25s. You know, like it's nothing. But because I've taken a month off and haven't done anything, like my body, like I feel the stress. Yeah. And it feels good. Like I feel like I'm getting a good workout in. So I know I'm doing right. But mentally, I'm like, bitch, you banging 25s. The fuck wrong with you? You know. I don't know. The mental recovery has been harder.
I think it's an interesting thing to probably track and see when you hit that threshold where you're back to where you were. Maybe that helps you, like, you know, bust some plateaus or something. Who knows?
Well, I'm sure, but also like at the same time, because this is the first time I've ever had like a big physical sort of break like that. You know, like I fucked my back up, like I ruptured a disc. You know, that's a fucking thing. Had sciatica, I was in excruciating pain,
right,
for like a good like 4 days straight, where I'm like, no shit, like biting back tears, just in this objective agony. Like it was just awful, and I'm terrified of doing something and having that happen to you. So it's I don't know. Like there's the mental drive to like. Get in there, bitch. Like, get in there. Push this shit. Yeah, push this shit. You can go heavier. There's that mental drive, but also there's this this other, like, devil on my shoulder that's like, you're gonna fuck your back up. You're gonna fuck your back up. Your wife's gonna be so mad at you.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared shitless of that. But I also, like, I fucking want it. It's I don't know.
Mine is just a different can of worms altogether. I think mine is it is not maybe. It is, it's entirely
mental.
It's entirely mental. And it comes from a different thing. I've run across a bunch of really weird things over the probably last 2 or 3 weeks. Just kind of trying to go through things in my head and trying to work things out. And then go, you know, reaching out, looking for whatever I can for some type of help. And something I've hit on is that there's like this weird thing online. I was looking at YouTube videos about things like depression, and there's like this weird split. There's this ones where like you have this very nicely animated video with a very soft-spoken lady talking, and they're talking about your problems. And, you know, they're like, maybe you have XYZ, and they list out some stuff, and this might cause this, and this might cause this, and oh, this isn't a diagnostic video, you should get help from a professional.
Right.
And then you have another one that is like more just like, this is what it is. It's very sterile.
A more Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro approach.
Yeah, it's very sterile. But what I find is I think those other videos are really predatory.
What do you mean?
Because, like, I got to looking at some of them, and I noticed that they had, like, this is a big, a big group of I guess, people that do this type of content, and they'll have like multiple videos, the same like 8 signs you have melancholic depression. You have, do you know someone that's depressed? Are you depressed? And it's basically just, hey, the same content recycled, and it feels like they're probably just regurgitating it to the same people, and they're still watching it. And I think after I'd probably watched about 4 or 5 of them, I just got to thinking, like, this is kind of fucked up. It feels like that.
Like they're trying to convince you that you're.
It feels like that it's a way to kind of keep people in that state of mind.
Yeah, yeah. No, I could get
and
that.
And the other thing is, like, I went on to like the Reddit depression thread, and that's a weird place.
I think like, depression's a weird place.
There are people who mean well, but there are also people who like don't want you like saying things like maybe you should try XYZ. Right. You know, with things that don't involve like getting a therapist or talking it out. If you try to, I've seen threads where people will get shouted down for saying things like, "Have you tried like going for a walk?" Right. Changing diet, stuff we've talked about.
The easy, obvious things.
Stuff that are things that you should do on your first signs. Yeah. Making sure you're eating right and making sure you're getting, like, you don't have to go to the gym and kill it. Right. Get a moderate amount of exercise.
Yeah, go for some walks. Eat some fruit.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, little steps. That's all it is. Yeah. It's this weird echo chamber of people talking about how great it would be to be dead.
Oh, fuck. That doesn't.
It's just like,
so when they say it's a depression thread, it's just people that are fucking depressed, not necessarily like here's some things to help yourself if you're depressed.
Some of that is there, but and like, some of it is like people making a post about like, hey, you know, I feel like I've beat it. I feel like this is the first time in 5 years that I went outside and things felt like they were going to be okay. Right. It was actually looking at that. I was read this one comment where this guy he just basically said like you don't want to do something, but you should probably go do it. And I was like, that guy's right. He's not talking like all the rest of these people. That was one of the reasons that I came over the other day to work out. It's one of the reasons I was going to go to D&D today had we had it. Right. Because I didn't want to, but I probably should.
Just making yourself get out there, breaking the cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something.
I don't know why it took that. It's stupid because it's something that I know. Of course I know. Right. I mean, I haven't really dealt with this before, and this is only really propped up probably in the last couple of years. Never really dealt with this stuff much before. Right. But, yeah, it's really simple stuff, and it's weird how, like, what it takes to get yourself back out there to do things. Like, I don't think that I'm better just because I started leaving the house again for stuff other than work.
But you're being proactive.
I feel like maybe I've crested a hump.
Like rounded a corner on that.
But it still feels like it's all still there. It's just all back off to the side now. Right. It's not like cloaked around me. Right. And just eating me up.
I had a therapist tell me indirectly once that and when I say indirectly, like, it wasn't my therapist, it was just, you know, I'm not going to get into details. Anyways, a therapist once said, and I heard, it's a better way to phrase that, that whenever you, like, you know, like we're talking like the obvious things and stuff like that, like whenever you realize that you aren't doing these things and then you start doing them again, that depression doesn't go away. Like a person, especially somebody that's clinically depressed, depression is just something they live with. Like, it doesn't go away. But whenever you do these simple things, what you're doing is you're breaking this, for one, you're breaking this cycle, this like internal loop of I guess like self-defeatism, you know, like you're kind of breaking that loop. And you're at that point being proactive. So like you said, you're not cloaked in it. You're just you're shunting it off to the side. And like, basically you're wresting control away from it with your own life. And, but it never actually goes away. But it's a weird thing for me to even try to talk about. Like, I know people that are depressed, you know, clinically. I've gone to doctors twice. Over depression, but it was like, you know, these were like specific events that put me there, and I just really needed help getting over that hard spot in my life. Yeah. But it's not like a clinical thing. It's not. And when I talk to other people that have depression, it's like it's always there in the back of their mind. You know, like it's just waiting around the corner. And I think of that as like, man, that's really fucking scary. Because like, if you get out of your routine at all, like it's almost like just waiting for the shoe to drop. You know, that's a scary thing to me. You know, somebody that doesn't have to deal with that seems really scary to me.
I think it is. I would never say that I've actually have any type of clinical depression. I don't know, because I kind of, first time I was ever really feeling that way was maybe in 2017. And it was when I had moved to Louisiana and I'd taken a different job. And I was so stressed out about fucking up and being homeless because, like, we moved all the way out here for this thing I don't barely know anything about.
Right.
I mean, it's a good opportunity, but what if things go south?
Put all my eggs in a very shaky basket.
I was so stressed out about it, it was just eating me up. And it feels like ever since then, about this time of year, it kind of creeps up.
Right.
So
maybe it's seasonal, man.
I've heard of that, but I mean, I don't know. See, last year about this time, it kind of crept up. It wasn't this bad, but I think I can attribute that to, like, I still had something I was working on, and it wasn't like shut down like I had happened.
Right.
But also,
it was an obtainable goal.
Also, some of that was based on, like, I just moved back home. I was right near where I used to live with my ex, and that messed with me a lot more than I had expected it to.
Really?
Yeah, when I first moved back home. This was like when I first moved back home, moved back to school, and I actually started going. I got on it's like a, not an actual therapist, but it's like
an online therapy,
like an online therapy
or like
type.
a phone call.
Yeah.
Shit. Dr. Phil does this shit all the time. It's like a doctor on demand,
something
or something.
Something like that. One of those services. And the only time before that I went to therapy was like right after everything happened, and I was so in such a haze that I didn't know what to do.
Right.
And I went once, and then I got laid off and lost my health insurance. So
there went that.
It was nice when it happened, but then like after that was when I ended up moving, getting a different job, and I was so busy I just didn't deal with it.
Right.
Which that led into a bunch of other stuff.
Does that help whenever you just get really busy with stuff? Does that like alleviate it?
It sweeps it under the rug. It's kind of like not doing your homework on Friday night,
right,
in high school.
Right.
Eventually, I mean, that's a much more truncated version because Sunday night's going to come around and it's going to just hit you like a wall of bricks.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just pushing stuff off to the side, and it just mounts and mounts and mounts and mounts. And the first time that happened, because I remember it was when I was working on the road, and I had to take like a week off. And I had to go because it got to the point where I was sleeping like 1 hour a night, and we were working like 12-hour days, 6 days a week. And it was catching
that alone would.
It was catching up hard, and
shit, that would.
The only thing I got from that is like I went to go get something to help me go to sleep, and I talked to the doctor and explained like, he asked me some basic questions about like what about XYZ, and it was like. I told him everything that had happened, and he's like, "Well, it sounds like you probably have some minor depression based on events." And he's like, "This is like a sleep aid; it'll help you, and it's a minor antidepressant." And I took it for a while, and it helped me sleep, and things got better.
That's almost exactly what I did. Went to the doctor, told him, I was feeling depressed, and he was like, "Well, are there reasons for it?" And I, sort of gave him a brief. Summary of the bullshit that was going on in my life. And he was pretty much kind of like that. Like, I don't think this is clinical, dude. Like, I think you're just in some shit right now. Like, here, this will help you sleep and it'll kind of lift your mood a little bit throughout the day. Give it a few weeks to really start working.
Yeah.
And here's your script for it. If at any point, you see these signs, quit taking it, blah, blah, blah. But, I took that. I think I went back, got one refill, and then I was like towards the end of that, I was feeling better about things. Things were looking up, so I just quit taking it, and nothing changed. Like I felt fine after that. Like it was just a little something to help me get sleep, be in a better mood, be a bit more productive. And then I
took mine for probably about 4 or 5 months, up until I moved back home, and I just kind of decided like I don't really feel like I've needed this for a long time.
Right.
So I weaned myself off of it. I guess, I should have probably talked to him first.
Right.
But I didn't. I just kind of did it.
Right. We're dudes.
And it seemed fine.
What we do. And
like I said, I've had that creep up a couple of times, just just this time of year. I will say one of the things that did kind of help me get kind of away from it recently is like, I didn't come to y'all's anniversary, the thing that you guys set up, like you asked me to officiate it and stuff. When you guys asked me for that, I really wanted to do it.
I know.
And then I just kind of hit that mood where I was like, I don't think I can. And part of that was not wanting to be around people, but the other part of it was that would have been like maybe like the day before like what would have been like the 10-year anniversary when I like first met my ex, and shit. I was really afraid that was going to affect me. And then that all that stuff came and went, and that didn't really matter.
Right.
Like I was afraid that would bother me so much, and then the day came, and I was like, well, okay, that's a thing, whatever. I wasn't broke up about that like I thought I would be.
Right.
So I was like, well, that's nice to know, I guess.
Huh. Oh, I didn't know that.
No. But,
I have a bad habit of, like, Brooke tells me all the time, like, when I'm, I'll talk about some of my friends and be like, oh, this just some bad shit went down last time, something like that. And I'm just like, okay. Because I expect that if somebody wants me to know things, that they're just going to fucking blurt it out to me, which is stupid, I know.
No, I mean,
but
I'm kind of the same way.
I just do that. And Brooke's always like, well, why? Or, she has all these questions. She's like, why the fuck don't you ask people shit? Like, Jesus, they were trying to open up to you. What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't know. I got no answer. I'm a piece of shit.
Well, I mean, it's easier for people to do that. And sometimes people don't want you to ask questions. Sometimes people do.
Yeah, well, I'm terrified of somebody feeling like I'm prying.
Right. No, I understand
like,
that.
Holy shit, I hate it when people do that to me. And, I hate being like, I don't want to talk about it. I hate saying I don't want to talk about it, because it might not even be that big of a deal, but that makes it sound like it's a huge thing.
Yeah.
And really all it is just like, I don't want to fucking talk about it. It's going to piss me off, and I'll get in a bad mood. Like, I'm doing fine. Like, let's not bring that up. I guess some people are waiting for somebody to ask them, which is fine. But I suck at it.
But I think that's really good. I don't know. Well, see, it would be interesting to talk to other people about it, because I feel like identifying that for me is something that really helped me be like, okay, I can like shake this off a little bit to try to get back to normal, get back to a routine,
right,
and not worry so much about it. That's a silver lining. And I always try to look for those.
Do you get depressed and you lose your routine? Like, does that just sort of go out the window? Or is that a thing that's happened?
This is the worst that's ever happened. In the past, when it would be like I might lose a couple days if I was bummed about something. But this is probably the first time it's been that rough.
This has been one you've had to like actively work to get out of.
Yeah, because at least to me, a lot of the other stuff was just little annoyances, and I think part of that might be maybe I just didn't deal with stuff when it came out like I should have, and it just all mounted up.
It got untenable.
But that's part of it too. Like whenever you get to that point, all those little things echo back in your mind, and it's like, oh yeah, that's another thing that I suck at, or that I'm no good for, and it just kind of like you create this weird, gross echo chamber, kind of like the depression Reddit. Don't we all just want to die?
Oh my god, that sounds like the worst place to go if you're depressed.
I would say it is.
That's like if you're an alcoholic and go to a bar or something. Like an obvious, like, hey, don't, like if you're just putting it out there. If you're depressed, don't go to the fucking r/depression.
Don't. I would say in most cases don't. I gleaned a piece of something out of it that was like, this is stupid. But I was also actively looking at this and just thinking like, this is not good advice for anyone.
Depressed or otherwise, just fucking anyone.
Just like all of this is like, I don't know what you gain from this. Like, and then I also like, not to slight anyone, but I got to looking at this, and sometimes these people post about being like adults, but I feel like the majority of this has to be like a bunch of 14-year-olds. But who knows?
There's a lot of adults with just like really bad arrested development that are they're just eternally 13. Like I've told, I tell my kids this a lot because, like, especially my oldest, because she is perpetually disappointed with like adults. Like that's who she's. You know, she's 13. She's working her way there, so she's just always just like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Like so, I've always told her, I was like, look, most people don't grow up; they just get old. Like they just hit about 15 or so, and that's fucking it. That's all the maturity that they're going to develop. That's you know, they're Arrested Development. My dad is like, that dude is my fucking idol. He's you know, mid-late 50s, and this dude is still like capable of like, he'll take in new information that he doesn't want to hear and doesn't fucking like and runs, you know, counter to what he believes, but he'll take it in and he'll mull it over. And then sometimes, not often, but sometimes, you know, even in like his late 50s, he'll just be like, well, I've been wrong about that for like 15 years now. Like, I fucked up, man. Like, I'm wrong. Like, I've got to swap this around. It's a really uncomfortable thing, but he's willing to do that. And I've always been
there's not
super
many people
impressed
that
with
are.
that. Well, I mean, he's constantly growing, you know, and like, I've always been really impressed with that. I think that's one of the coolest traits a person could have, you know. Father, friend, mother, doesn't matter, you know, just anybody could that possesses that quality is they're gonna grow as people and be better every day. Yeah, man, that fucking cat, that's a...
Alright, I got another one.
No, hell no. Look at its tail, like half its tail is gone. It's just got like a piece of beef jerky hanging in its
What are you
ass.
gonna, like, don't you dress down that cat.
Man, that cat's busted. It ain't gonna recover.
It ain't gonna recover.
So yeah, but that's part of your plan right now for recovery is like you just get back into putting yourself back out there.
Slowly, yeah. I mean, there's still lots of stuff like I'm not particularly happy with the situation I'm in, but I'm just kind of dealing with it.
Right. Well, what else can you do?
Pretty much. I mean, that's true.
We all just want to kill ourselves. I mean, that's the alternative. You know.
You know. But I think one part of just any type of recovery in general is baby steps.
That's fun.
Because a lot of people want to, I mean, anything, like we talked about earlier with exercising, they want to jump right back into where they were and like...
Well, not only that...
You can't just do that.
Not only that, but I mean, we've been in it for a little bit, so I don't think it's as surprising to us. We've learned the ebb and flow of like, you know, how a body undergoes a change. But I think a lot of people, they get in it, and you see all these fucking articles and shit, and it's like a guaranteed 6-pack in 6 weeks, you know, shit like that. And it's
that's
like,
because,
no.
That's because you have these people who still believe that you can like spot reduce.
Well, I mean,
that was one the stuff
the
you would
that?
Dude, you would not believe the stuff that I got when I first came back home after, you know, I had lost like 90 pounds and I was like, people were like, "Oh my God, what did you do?" I was like, "I ate right and exercised, usually 5 to 6 days a week."
Yeah,
and they were
you
could just see their faces drop because they thought that I had some type
found a pill, or
they thought that I found some type of fucking cheat code.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. I think people, they want results now, and I think, you know, that's another thing. You can relate that back to like recovering from depression, recovering from addiction. That's a huge one. Like, people think that there's just like you can find this like switch and flip it, and you've got abs, or you're not depressed, or you aren't addicted to coke anymore. You know, you can just hit this switch and it's done. And it's like, no, dude, this shit takes fucking years. Like, it's so hard to do this, and you can fuck it up at any moment.
It could be like fitness, and it might just be something you have to do for the rest of your life every day, whether it's a little bit or a lot. Because, like I said, every day you don't have to work out 3 hours a day. You know, doing every compound lift under the sun and running 5 to 10 miles.
Right.
But you need to do something.
Right.
It's like you need to get up every day, and yeah, it could be little stuff. I mean, it's a lot. It's, you know, we're not going over any kind of untread ground here. It's little things like get up and make your bed,
right,
and make a sandwich,
get a shower,
take a shower.
Yeah.
If you're still in that, in a position where, say, you're just at home and you're not going to work, doing anything.
Like during the quarantine, suicide rates is like, I don't know how much up they've gone.
I'm sure they went up a bit.
How much did they? I'm gonna do it.
Because they've, I mean, you just stick people in the house that aren't used to being in the house. What are they going to do? They can't do much.
Well, and if they're already,
And yeah,
depressed
exactly.
or prone to, like, fuck yeah, you can't go to work.
I mean, I can't say that I was really frustrated when it first started because I couldn't go to the gym. That was like that was my crutch for my therapy a lot. I mean, it still kind of is, but it just got to the point where I wasn't doing it. But other than that, it was just, oh, hey, you're at home. I like being at home. It's not too bad.
I'm not getting any numbers. I'm seeing a lot of articles here about, like, confirming that it did
Well, that's
spike.
because, well, I mean...
But I'm not getting any actual
Well, it's safe to
numbers.
say that it's on the rise.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just go with that.
I don't think, I mean, looking stuff up like that on the fly is not going to work anyway. People are just trying to grab attention so you click their article and get their revenue.
Yeah, I'm reading an article. I'm not getting any numbers on it. I'm sure
But yeah,
I'm sure a smarter
I
person
mean,
can do it.
you stick, especially these...
Yeah, you
I'm
take
sure that
people's
there's all these
livelihood.
really heavily extroverted people that are fucking miserable.
Fuck yeah, like my wife. Like I can sit in the fucking house for months on end. Like I can just go out to go to Walmart to get my food. Like I work out in my house now, so I don't even have to go to the fucking gym. Like I'm pleased as punch to just sit in my house all fucking day. Do work in my wood shop and do all my things. And then just, smoke some weed and play video games that night, fuck around with my kids a little bit. Like I'm totally satisfied doing that day after day after day, month after month. Don't have to go out. It doesn't bother me. But my wife, like after like week 2, holy shit, dude. Like that girl needed to get the fuck out of the house. That was intense. Like I've never seen cabin fever. Like I didn't know what cabin fever really was, until I watched her like go through it. And
Could you imagine if she hadn't been busy with work too?
Could you imagine if she wasn't on medication for anxiety? Like she was, she woke up at like a 7, and that would just go up throughout the day.
Well, I was just thinking, like, imagine if you guys if she just if she was a normal housewife and didn't work for herself. And just woke up. She would have had like the house done up, so pretending like she was going to the store or going to people's houses.
Right.
It's just whatever she could.
Right.
I'm sure lots of people did stuff like that.
I'm sure.
Like, hey, let's make a bar out of the kitchen table.
What was it?
Like a sitcom or something.
Right. Right. See, and the thing is, though, like I read this thing about me and my husband turned every room into our house into a little bar, and we're going bar hopping. And I was like, that's cute. And like I said, like on a sitcom, like that would be fascinating, riveting, But the reality of it is it's just like sitting in your living room getting tanked, and it's really not that much fun.
I mean, if you did it that
depressing.
If you did it that one time, sure. But are you doing it just that one time, or are you doing that every evening?
Right. Right. No, because people my age, like on Facebook, I'll see them posted, and it's like this will be like the middle of the week, and they're like, me and my husband drank a 5th of tequila and put up Halloween decorations. Like, god damn, like it's Wednesday.
I'm
like,
so
holy shit
out of the loop. I mean, on all this, because it's weird to still hear people talking about being like stuck at home or quarantined, because through the whole thing.
Some of them are.
Through the whole thing, even before that little bit that I stopped working, I was going to work.
Right.
Because like with my job,
you have to go to work.
You don't get to do that.
You got to have boots on the ground.
Yeah.
As my brother, the same thing. He worked his whole way through it, boots on the ground.
I mean, the only reason I stopped is because I was also going to school, and I was afraid because like if they say like, oh, you've got COVID, we're not going to let you in. So I dipped out for a little bit until that resolved itself.
My brother-in-law was he's a rad tech. Like he does like X-rays and shit, and he had to go to work every day for fucking X-rays and stuff. It's like, goddamn.
Oh yeah.
And you don't think of the one like the Easy Mart employees and shit. Like these dudes are making like $7 an hour, dealing with, like,
Oh,
me,
yeah.
me unwashed, grumpy, hungover, breathing all over shit.
Essential.
Yeah, he's essential. And I'm in there just fucking his shit up. Like, destroy it. Like, he's going to take whatever I've got home, give it to his family. But, I mean, somebody's got to fucking take my money for my Snickers and gas.
Right?
Gotta get my
Or the
cigarettes.
people that are going to Easy Mart to day drink because they can't go anywhere.
Right?
Let's go down to the gas station and get some of those wine pouches.
It's a box of Franzia.
No, not even those. Just the little pouches that look like Capri Sun.
No, I was worried whenever all this thing happened. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna turn into a fucking alcoholic. No, I like drinking. Like, this is gonna happen to me. And, but it didn't. Like, I drank a lot less because there wasn't people to drink with.
Right.
Turned out I'm a social drinker. I did, however, smoke a shit ton of weed. And that was, at one point it was kind of alarming. I was like, I'm almost out. It's like, when did I get this?
Surprised that you would have even done any more than usual, though, because you're at home anyway, because you work from home.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess a lot of that's like.
You have the peer pressure from the world. You're stuck at home.
Stuck at home, you gotta get fucked up. Maybe that was something to do with it. I don't know. You'd think like me with my job and with my like I'm an absolute homebody. So you would think like I would be almost completely unaffected by it, but also like my kids were home.
Yeah.
A lot more. And
that was a long spring break.
Boy, I love my kids, but god damn, get these motherfuckers out of my house. Like, holy shit. You know, I couldn't get laid because kids are fucking running wild through the house all the time. So there was that. So, you know, smoke that dick down.
Dad's hiding in the bathroom again.
Dad's hiding in the bathroom. Dad's ate a lot of poops today.
Had a lot of fiber, sweetheart.
Dad's working out in the wood shop again. I smoked a lot more weed. That was about it. I don't view that as that much of an issue. I'm sure there are those that would totally argue that. But
oh yeah.
I don't see it as that big of a deal.
No,
but I wouldn't because I'm doing it.
Right?
You know, I wonder about that sometimes. Like I wonder about smoking weed and stuff. Like I hear, you know, you hear all the stupid shit. It's a gateway drug. You know, it'll just that 1950s propaganda bullshit. We all know that. We all know. Yeah, we know it's bullshit now. But I also wonder, like, because you hear people, you know, like I smoke it for my depression. I smoke it to help with my appetite, or you know, this and that. And I'm like, listen to them talk about it. I'm like, no, the fuck you don't. Like, we're smoking a blunt. You're not.
Right? If this is medicinal, you'd
about?
have some drops or something like that. Something very simply, to very simply medicate yourself. Not with this many steps.
Yeah. Well,
not with a group of people to share with.
Right. Like, I don't. Like, my wife's not getting together with her buddies to have, like, Zoloft parties. You know what I mean? It's just, the fuck? But, no, but I wonder about that.
Maybe we just live in a sheltered corner of America.
I've been wondering, like, what is this knee-jerk reaction with potheads to always identify their consumption as medicinal in some form or fashion? You know, like, I never hear, like, an alcoholic that's like, oh, shit, it helps with my anxiety. I feel after about 12 beer, it's gone. Like, I ain't anxious about shit.
I feel like that's probably just anything they can grab a hold of to normalize it, because, you know, I mean, it shouldn't be such a big deal, because it's no worse than anything else.
Well, like, it does help me sleep, but I mean, there's also melatonin, you know, there's all sorts of other shit that's natural. And it's like, I just, you know, I like smoking weed. I like being high. I like playing video games. I like reading books when I'm high.
I think it's just that. They're just trying to find anything they can do to normalize it to get people to stop, demonizing it.
Right. Well, they're going about it in a bullshit manner. It's disingenuous, and I don't approve.
Well, it's the only way it's going to happen is if there can be ways to tax it and profit off of it.
Dr. Phil said this thing one time. It was cracking me the fuck up. He was talking to Ron White, and Ron White was talking about smoking weed, and he was like, I smoke it for anxiety and stuff like that. And Dr. Phil is just like, well, what makes you anxious when you run out of weed? And Ron White was just like this long silence, and Ron White just starts laughing. But I was like, right though? Like, shut up.
The guys.
Like, I have no doubt that it does play a role in helping a lot of people with that. I have no doubt. There's too many documented cases. There's too much smoke for there to be no fire.
Right.
You know, like, I get that. But I think there's probably a large number of people that, regularly smoke weed that would probably do the whole thing a service if they would just be like, look, I'm a responsible adult and I like getting high. Like, I pay my bills, my kids are taken care of.
Yeah.
I'm working out, I'm eating healthy, I pay my taxes. Like, come on, I'm going to go vote. Like, come the fuck on. Like, get off my back.
Exactly.
I like getting high. You don't, that's your business, that's cool. I enjoy it.
People have to be. They have to have a hill to die on, and I guess that's theirs.
Do they? What's mine?
I don't know.
What's yours?
I don't know. That's something that's bothered me for a long time.
You don't have a hill to die on? Maybe some people just.
Well,
maybe
no,
some of us just don't die on hills.
I'm
maybe
honest because, like, a lot of times I get frustrated with myself because I feel like whenever arguments are very like. Maybe not, well, not every argument, but a lot of time when there's social discussion or everything, a lot of the time I'm just like, let's not jump to conclusions.
Right.
Let's suss this out. And I'm always somewhere in the middle, and I see these guys have a good point. But you guys have some good points too. Why don't we hash it out? Why do we have to deal in absolutes?
Why do you have to be all right and they have to be all wrong?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say there are some things that are absolutes. Like, I'm not going to hear...
mathematics.
I'm just going to say, like, I'm not going to hear your argument that pedophilia is a choice and you belong on the umbrella of other groups. You don't. You don't.
What do you mean pedophilia is a choice?
Well, they're like, oh, we love kids. Put us with the LGBT people.
Oh, like choosing it to be justified in some way? Or
using
okay?
Try to pawn it off as well. I mean, there's got to be some type of disease that brings that on.
Well, it's a weird thing. I don't think it's a choice. I don't think anybody wants to be like on that. Like, okay, so my uncle told me about being gay. Like, he was raised his dad was a Southern Baptist preacher. He's obviously raised in a Southern Baptist home. Very small town, very backwoods Arkansas. And he told me one time. It was like, people, I hear people say that it's a choice. And he was like, right. Like, I woke up one day and I was like, fucking life's too easy. I'm going to make this shit ridiculously hard for me. I want to be ostracized from my community and demonized and shit, vilified because I like dudes.
Exactly.
And I was like, yeah, that's not a fucking choice. And I kind of think that same thing with pedophilia, probably to an even harder degree. It's probably not a choice. That's not to say that it's okay.
Well, I mean, there are still people trying to do things to normalize it.
That's fucked up. That's one thing we can do without it being normal.
That's like, as Dave Chappelle would say, they're trying to stick them with those alphabet people.
Right. I don't think the alphabet people are cool with that.
I wouldn't be either. And all that does is give these other people more ammo to be like, oh, look, see, the gay people are trying to shack up with the pedos. Look,
right,
we was right all along. God damn.
Goddamn told you, as soon as you let them boys start holding hands, they're going to start fucking toasters and banging kids. What's next? There ain't no next.
Not in my neighborhood.
Yeah, I don't think there's a social trend towards like social, a social mentality that's like sweeping the nation where people are okay with it. I don't think. Like, nobody would say things nobody's on the other side of this.
But what I'm saying is, this is one of the last things I remember seeing before I just took myself kind of out of, like, the zeitgeist of Facebook and all that. That people were, like, trying to find ways to normalize it, to lump it with things like, hey, we're just another minority. We're part of that plus.
We're part of that plus. Oh, my God. No, you
But
fucking
yeah,
not.
I will say something else. Though. That's something I'm glad that I've done. It's very refreshing. I think everyone else should do it. It's just step the fuck away from social media for like a month.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. I mean, unless I didn't see it on the TV at work because so many people have like Fox News on, I'd probably not know anything.
Right.
I mean, it's not because I like watching the news of either kind.
Right.
But it's just
I like that there's an either kind. That's a fucking problem.
Well,
that is a fucking problem.
Maybe we'll talk that out another day.
Right.
But I was so far out of everything that I didn't know a lot of things that were going on.
Right.
And I kind of like it. All these people are just pissed off, and I'm just sitting in my house like, man, if I wasn't so miserable and hating myself right now, this would be great. I remember thinking that like a week ago.
I'm digging it, man.
It's like if I wasn't so miserable, I would be happy.
I would be pleased as punch watching this shit burn to the ground. Oh man, I'm enjoying it. I took a year off from Facebook, which is really my only social media, anyways. I mean, I guess YouTube can count.
I don't really count it. I guess if you're involved in it, it could be
Facebook.
Like, I mean, YouTube. People who like actively share certain types of videos or get active,
engage in comments,
and stuff. But do you really want to talk to those type of people?
I do sometimes.
That make YouTube comments.
I sometimes do.
Well, that's a step below Facebook comments.
It doesn't. I don't feel good about it. Like I'm not.
You shouldn't.
I'm not like, yeah.
There's no place for anything there except for memes and trolling.
Well, I like to believe that when I comment, it's usually just like I watch a lot of drummer channels and stuff like that, and I usually I get on there and I'm like, hey, loved what you did. That was excellent, and it's just something like that.
Oh, something like that. Okay.
I say that though. Like there have been times I've gotten drug in the mud a couple times.
I'm sure I was going to say it's probably pretty hard for you not to get pulled off in the weeds on some of the stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, fucking old heads, man. Fucking old heads hate drum triggers. That's a whole thing. That's a whole other thing. But
I wasn't even talking about that. I mean, that's the type of argument I can understand if you're a hobbyist.
Well, I mean,
and you want to like hash. I mean,
what's not hashing out? It's me calling them old heads and shit like that, and them calling me a little faggot. And it's, I mean,
that's just healthy.
Neither one of us are wrong. Neither one of us are wrong.
I thought you were going to talk about one of these more politically charged videos of some type.
No, I'm not. I'm not into it. Nah, dude, I hate. There are a few people I will talk politics with. Like you're one of them. My brother's one. My dad and my mom, and really that's about it. And I don't. It's just not productive, and
I'm always leery of someone that is eager to bring it up.
Yeah, like they're looking for the argument,
Well, it's like they're either looking for the argument or they're looking to feel like they have an ally. Some people, I mean, I guess it pays to be in the know in some ways. I know my grandpa used to always tell me that you should pay attention to certain things, but he also was big into the stock market. And I guess he knew something that I didn't.
Right.
And that was how he read people. But who knows?
It's probably good to have a passing knowledge. I don't think there's a lot of benefits.
But there's some people who, like, especially when you first meet them, if it's something they bring up within the first 10 minutes,
right?
It's like, I'm just going to steer away from that. And if it keeps getting steered back towards it, it's like, oh, I might just step away.
Well, weirdly enough, too, and this is something new to me, I've noticed that, like, in the past, I don't know, I guess about a decade, maybe a little bit longer, people have gotten very one-dimensional in their personality. Like, they can only talk about politics. Like, that's all they got is politics. And they're always like, it's never like an intelligent, engaging conversation, unless you're on their side. It's always very argumentative, like passionate, but without substance. And I don't know, man.
I'm always curious to see if that's just.
It's very unbecoming.
If that's just something that happens to certain people as they get older.
I'm talking about people like my age.
Well, that's still older.
That's what I think.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, being in your mid-30s compared to being 18. I mean, we had
Right.
ideas about stuff like that, but it wasn't like something that we were driven by.
Right.
It's like I feel like a lot of people, once they get to that point where they have a job they're going to stick with or a career of some type, a family, that they tend to just get way more into this stuff than they ever had before.
I think it's maybe like they afford themselves the luxury of really giving a shit about this.
Maybe.
I think it's kind of like a club too.
Yeah, I
think
mean,
it's a lot like there's a sense of belonging.
yeah.
One of my friends, Justin Oatmeal, he was over here the other day and he was talking to me about some book he was reading that referenced that you go from womb to womb. Like you're born from a womb and then you spend like pretty much the rest of your life trying to find another womb to get in, like some sort of club or just a belonging. You know, I was like, that's seems to me a bit of a crass way to put it, but a very understandable one.
It makes sense. I mean, after a certain age, I can also kind of understand that because you get to a certain age, you get tired of debating things with people, and maybe you do just want that echo chamber.
Right? You just want that.
You only want
affirmation.
Positive vibes only, right?
Right.
That's something, I don't know. I mean, I can understand that, but it always irks me when people say things like that or like, don't at me. It's like, if you don't want people to come at you about something, how much do you really care about it?
I think, a lot of times it's like I've had conversations, and you know me, like I'm pretty, I try to be really objective, and I'm pretty in the middle on things.
Right.
You know, like I'm like you, like I can see their point, I can see their point. Like I really wish y'all could stop yelling at each other long enough so we could pull the best parts out of each one and use it.
Right.
But yeah, whenever there are some people, like whenever you try to talk to them, it's so unproductive and so abrasive. You know, like they're not hearing anything you're saying, and at some point you're not hearing anything they're saying. You know, you just end up rolling around in the mud. So it's kind of like, what's the fucking point? You know, but then again, if you're one of those people, why are you posting about it? You know, like people are gonna say something.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, but it feels like to me that those are the people who make the decisions. Those are the people who get things done, who are so single-minded.
Well, they're passionate about it and they have vision. You know, you have guys like us in the middle, and we are weak as fuck on vision because we don't know what's right and wrong. You know, we're trying to sample the best from everything, and that takes time. And these other people are driven; they have clear vision, they're passionate about it, so they just go forward while we're still wool gathering.
That's fair. No, that's something.
I think you need both types. You need all types. You know.
I mean, you do.
We would be the Faucis.
The Faucis?
Yeah, we know everything.
Yeah, we do. We know it all.
I sure as fuck do.
Well, you're 2 steps away from making decisions, bud.
Well, tying this all back, yeah. How does America recover from its depression? Now, how the fuck do we get out of this one?
I don't know. I don't think it's... I don't know what you do. I honestly don't. I think it would take... I don't know if you could even have something like 9/11 to bring everyone together.
Yeah.
I don't know that it would. At this point, there would be so many people trying to decipher who did what and why they did it, and even if someone did do it for nefarious reasons, there would probably be a large group of people saying, "Hey, well, we started it. We did X, Y, Z. Now they did this, so we earned it."
Right.
It would. I don't think it would be. I don't think it would take something very
aliens.
Probably.
That would do it.
Probably aliens.
That would fucking do it. If aliens came down.
I think even if aliens came down with good intentions, they would probably end up having to wipe us out.
Oh no, it would have to be with ill intent.
No, I mean,
like if aliens to unify us, it would have to. This is always our goddamn thing. It has to be some fucking tragedy, like almost global tragedy, to bring us all together. So it'd have to be alien. It would have to be Independence Day.
Probably
the movie, not the.
At least to bring Americans together. I always wonder what it's like in other places, because I hear some people talk about like working conditions in America and insurance, like how like insurance and stuff works, and they say that it sounds inhuman. It's like, what's it like in fucking
Iceland,
Sweden, and Iceland,
right?
Places like that. That you always get these weird examples.
Well,
of
for one, everybody's white.
Okay.
So that's a fucking factor. There's no cultural
divide,
headbutting going on.
I guess so.
That pot's already melted. We're still working on this shit. We're still figuring that one out. Obviously, Donald Trump's our fucking president. We haven't gotten a good handle on it quite yet, and we're working on that shit.
We are working on it.
No, is everybody in Sweden white?
I'm sure there's outliers.
It's like
I
Hispanic,
think
Swedish people.
There's probably a couple of Spanish or Mexican folks who have made their way. They immigrated.
Right.
I can't remember if it's Sweden or another place. Well, you always get examples of them because they're like, they make their citizens join the military and they can have guns and they don't have all these problems.
There's only like
they're
20
like
of them.
These weird outliers, and I think that's like
that's not fair to compare America to. There's like I said, there's like 20 Swedish people. Like that's it. That's the whole. There's
I
like
agree
14,
with that. I agree with
like
that.
14
too.
people and a couple dogs.
Because Texas is bigger than most of the countries over there.
Yeah.
It's different.
Texas is fucking huge, man. There's a fuck ton of people and land and bullshit going on here. Like, it's hard to make this big of a place get along.
I feel like...
But you don't do it by giving a shout out to the fucking Proud Boys. What the fuck? Dude!
I feel like America works the same way as, like, really, like, asshole families do. I feel like if you had, like, some Swedish people try to, like, teach some people from New York how shit should work, that they would just all pile back on the Swedish people.
You're like, fuck this.
Even if they were telling someone they didn't like how to do it, they'd be like, hey, only I can fuck with that guy. Fuck you!
Or the fucking, if they came to, like, Arkansas, like Locksburg, like, hey, you talk funny. The fuck off my porch.
Right? They start trying to talk to, like, the Mexican folks in Decoy, like, hey, fuck off, these are my friends. Can't nobody talk to them like that to me.
Right.
Right. Pedro, you go back in the house. I'm gonna handle this.
I'm gonna beat this motherfucker's ass. Pedro.
I still better not catch you over at my house, though.
Pedro and them good people.
Still better not catch you at my house.
No, but just be coming around my daughter. I love that, like, that passive sort of racism. Like I had this friend. This shit cracked me the fuck up. I had this buddy, and he's got a daughter, and we got on the subject of racism one day, and I was of the mind. I was like, look, good people are in short order. I'll take them any way they come. Like, I don't fucking care if they're good people. Down. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
There's not many of them around there. I think where I can get them. And he was like, absolutely, me too. We had this like, it was a pretty like an uplifting conversation, you know. Like getting towards the end of it, I felt good. And he was like, better not catch my daughter dating no black boy, though. And I was like, what? It was like, no, I ain't got nothing against black folks, just I don't want my daughter dating. I was just like, oh, this is almost good.
I really wonder about, like, how does that...
It's a weird, like, passive...
I really wonder about that mindset. Like, the perfect... Like, don't care. Like, you see at church, at the baseball field...
Right.
At the fall festival, all this shit, that it's like, everything's A-okay. It's like, but try to take my daughter out, I'm going to murder you.
Murder you, murder your whole family, kick your fucking dog around a little bit, bring a bucket of Roundup,
like, I
kill
really
your yard.
feel like those people feel like they don't hate them. Like, I don't think that they really...
I don't think it's hate. It's close enough that it makes me really uncomfortable. I don't think it's quite hate. Like, when I think hate, I think like Hitler, like round them up and kill them all. And it's not that. Like, clearly it's not that. You know? But it is
I feel like
it is enough to where it's like
it's like this weird...
Don't date my daughter.
It's like this weird ingrained idea that they just can't get rid of. It's like they're almost there. It's like if their great-granddad saw them sitting on the bleachers with this guy, they'd be pissed off.
Right.
And they're almost there where they can get rid of it, but it's just that last thing they're just...
Last little residue.
They can't just get rid of it.
Yeah, that last little Like when you wash dishes, sometimes there's like a smudge left on one, like it's that last little fucking bit that didn't quite come off. I don't think the answer is to like call these people deplorable and like demean them or anything. I think that's the last thing you want to do. You want to keep an open line of communication, but at the same time, you don't really want to let that shit just slide. That's a confusing thing. So you just do me and you just sit in the passenger seat and get quiet and smoke cigarettes. Like I don't know what to say to that. I've got to work with this dude for another 10 hours today. I'm not going to come unhinged on him.
Right.
Like that's
we ain't even at the job site yet.
Yeah, that's not going to fucking work for the rest of my day. And I genuinely like the guy. He's a great worker. Just doesn't want his daughter to date a black dude. And that's... You just sit quiet and smoke cigarettes. Just don't fucking talk about it.
Just change the subject.
Yeah. I don't know.
How about those Cowboys?
Call out a racist, huh? Fucking Hunter. I'm failing. Just lost the left. Just lost the left. Did you watch that shit?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, the debate. Oh my god, you missed the debate.
Oh, I saw it.
It was so fun.
Going through YouTube and I saw that it was on and I thought about it and I was like, I don't want to.
Oh, it was a good time. There won't be any recovering from that shit.
I'm sure there isn't.
It's just a bunch of holy shit, man. These fucking guys. They're gonna run shit. Oh, holy shit.
Yeah. Well...
I don't know, I'm thinking maybe sell it to China. Let them fucking take it.
See if they can do something with it.
Yeah, spruce the place up, I don't fucking know. Build those cool houses with the fucking edges turned up, But
put some fans on the wall, put like a paper lantern.
Yeah. The sliding doors that are made out of paper that you can just kick somebody through.
Are those Chinese or are those Japanese?
I get it mixed up. I'm stupid American dude. I don't fucking know. Asian.
One of those Asian houses.
I think we just got.
I think we'd be in good hands either way. Chinese and all those Chinese, Japanese, Korean, they're all very industrious. They probably figure something out.
I would, if there was to be an Asian takeover, I would want it to be Japan.
Me too.
They got them cartoons though.
They got them
fucking cartoons though, man. They're fucking awesome. Like I'll have some of that. Sushi, yes please. Samurai shit, fuck yeah. That was Japan, right?
No.
That wasn't?
Yeah, it was.
Shit.
No, that was Laos.
What did China... They have Mulan, right?
China has Kung Fu.
Kung Fu's
That's where
cool
Kung
as shit.
Fu comes from.
Oh. They don't got them cartoons, though.
They have them, too. They're just,
They look different?
No, not really.
So that's just an Asian thing? The whole anime thing is just Asian?
I think a lot of the industry is just in Japan, but there's stuff out of Korea and there's stuff out of China also.
Oh, shit. The whole K-pop stuff has been blowing the fuck up.
That's really strange.
Back in my day, it was J-pop.
That it got big enough that for it to be popular outside of, like, weirdos like me who used to look up, like, J-Rock.
Right.
Like the opening of Full Metal Alchemist and stuff like that.
Which was dope. Kung Fu generation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the fact that it's gotten to the point where I see commercials for, like, K-pop groups between, like, YouTube videos is very weird.
Yeah, well, and that, I'm seeing a lot of it, like, on TV and stuff, where, there's these young white American kids, and these kids are, they're a bit on the fringe of things, like they're, clearly they're into anime of some sort.
Right.
They dress a little different. A lot of them are doing cosplay shit, whatever each their own. But there's like this big K-pop thing that's like coming through, and it's like they're owning the boy band market. Like America fucked up. Like there was still a boy band market. Like it was still there, and we dropped the fucking ball.
I think we dropped the ball, and
like
they brought it in with a twist, and the kids ate it up.
We lost. I mean, because it's not great again.
No, see, this is where we have time to make a comeback.
Recover.
Mm-hmm. Like Rocky. You know, you get complacent,
Well,
and then somebody comes in and they wallop you. You know, like Rocky 3. And then think about it. Who was the biggest? Like first, you had like Boys to Men and stuff like that, right?
Right. Oh, we're going that far back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boys to Men.
But then like NSYNC and like Backstreet Boys, like they blew it up. Like it was biggest under them. And then that was
Hanson,
it. That was it for a long time. And then
they broke the mold. You had a few.
Backstreet Boys and them came back a few years ago to make more albums and stuff. And I guess maybe that kind of reignited something. And
it did not.
These Asian, it did for someone. These Asian boy bands, these Korean boy bands are like they gobbled it up. Now we're gonna have to get like Boys to Men to take like the Backstreet Boys and
come back,
like train them. They're gonna retrain them, put some soul in them. It's gonna be like Rocky 3, like Apollo training Rocky.
Shit. No, I get it.
We're gonna have all of them running on the beach.
Yes,
it'll be amazing.
Yes, absolutely. Holy fuck! America needs that.
And then they'll put it on ABC.
We need that. Story
we have a boy band off.
That's the thing, that they'll put the shit on it. They'll make a reality show out of it. They'll have like Boys to Men coaching Backstreet Boys, and then we'll have I don't know enough boy bands.
It's NSYNC.
Go teach in One Direction.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those kids.
Yeah, they failed. They didn't do it. They tried, but they
made
didn't
some
do
money. Enough for people to go on about.
Oh yeah, they made some money. You know, Aaron Carter. You know who Aaron Carter is, right?
I think so.
He was back in the day. He had the hit song, or maybe it was an album. I can't fucking remember. A Party at Aaron's House.
Isn't he like related to one of those boy bands?
I think
he is. I feel like I remember someone
like he was
talking about
he was like the younger, like screaming for attention brother.
I think so. I kind of remember that.
And he never recovered.
He never recovered.
And there's evidence for this. So this dude popped up. Howard Stern alerted the world to the fact that this dude had popped up on Chatterbait, and was apparently like butt naked playing his guitar for people. I think it was like for $5, and then he would finish.
Was it tasteful?
I don't know. I didn't.
Did he have like the guitar in front of him, like Jenny?
I like to think that it was just that shitty webcam with like maybe a bathroom light on to the side, so you only get like a look at like one testicle and like half.
I'd like to think that he was like Jenny on Forrest Gump, where she's up on stage with the guitar covering everything up, trying to be like artsy about it, but still risque.
I doubt
and then there's people in the chat just being like, "Show me your nuts!
Show me your nuts! Aaron.
Show me your nuts!"
Party at Aaron's house. Yeah, apparently to watch him stroke his shit was like $10. So he was getting like $15 a head, like $5 to buy and watch him play a little guitar, and then when that's done, spend the $10 and get the grand finale.
Is that how Chatterbait works? You just get one person talking to you. You couldn't do like a group chat. You have like a hat on the sidewalk where people could just throw money in it.
I think some people do that. I don't know, man. Like
crowdfund that hand job.
I went through
oh, maybe that should be
I scrolled through it once, and there was a lot of like just like grainy webcam up closes of dudes jacking off and girls putting things in themselves, and it was really
Bush League.
Yeah, like I was like, what's the draw? Like, because like Pornhub's a thing. Like, there's some HD shit. You know, there's some good porn on there.
Right?
Like, what are they doing watching this shit for?
Put some stuff into their things, even if it's just. I guess because it's live. It's like
that's what I was thinking. There's got to be something.
But surely there's someone.
And because you can comment and say things, maybe.
I guess so. I guess it's just like Twitch for porn.
Essentially, yeah, it's just Twitch for porn. But I don't get it.
Yeah, but you don't watch. You think they would put a little, invest a little something in it? Like,
well, some of them do.
People don't have. I mean, you don't go to someone's Twitch stream and they're like have shitty looking video and stuff like that. It usually looks nice.
Well, some of them on this were. I mean, it was well lit. You know, it had a bit of production to it. You know,
they bought a ring light, got some.
I didn't click on anything. It scared me. Knowing that these are real people. You know, and
are you afraid that they'll say John Jack is watching, has joined the chat, and then they just greet you like, "Hey, nice to see you, buddy."
I'm jacking off right now. Enter. Oh, good for you. Watch me put this.
That's what we're here for. Look, I got this margarine right here. Where do you guys want it to go?
Butter this bread. Well, butter that bread. Oh my God.
Butter that bread.
Butter that bread.
Indeed.
Yeah, man. It was, but yeah, a lot of it was just this grainy, like, desperate-looking shit. And I like to think that was Aaron Carter. It was like,
I feel like he would have done. It would have been at least a little more well done.
I don't know, man. He was on TV not long ago doing some, like,
he's got to have some kind
show.
of, unless he's that bad into drugs, he'd have to have some type of residual money. I guess not everybody took care of their money like Macaulay Culkin.
Well, if he's on Chatterbait, like, I mean, he'd probably, like, do some dirty parties for some, weird people. And, like,
I like to think that that's just him
like some fraternity, like the dude, like, brothers, we got Aaron Carter.
I would like to think that he's just on Chatterbait to make, like, a celebrity appearance.
Right?
And it's just him, like, kind of like how sometimes, like, celebrities, you'll see them, like, at the mall. Like, oh, there's Little Bow Wow on Foot Locker, like I saw that one time.
Right.
Like, sometimes they come down to reality and mingle with the
Post
commoners.
Malone in the self-checkout line at Walmart.
That guy seems cool.
He was on Joe Rogan.
I don't like any of his music, but listen to him in podcasts. He seems like like a super alright guy.
I would love to hang out with that dude sometime. Like he really does. He seems really alright. Seems like a pretty solid dude.
Yeah.
That was a good episode. But,
like, no, Post, don't play any music.
yeah, no, I don't think Aaron Carter does shit like that. I think he's still got, like, he puts on the airs of, aristocracy.
He's got to cling to that, like, I'm the Aaron Carter guy.
Mm-hmm.
I had that song.
Well, I think, like, there's obvious, like, he's fucking off his goddamn rocker. Like I said, I saw him on TV.
Right.
It was like a Save My Marriage sort of thing, or that, or like, I've got a
But like a
drug
Bam
addiction.
Margera situation or something?
No, it was him. There were other people in it too, like several, like, used to be celebrities.
Oh,
they're all together.
like your B and C tier.
Yeah, they were trying
people.
to. I think they were trying to save the marriage. I can't remember what it was. It was like relationship 911 or I can't fucking remember. But at any rate, they but he's like emaciated, like got AIDS or some shit. Like looks like hammered shit.
Like cracked out Macaulay Culkin?
Yeah,
When he
yeah,
looked like
dude,
shit?
almost worse. Almost
Man,
like
that
if you
guy
could
looked
imagine
bad.
that. Like
What?
it was awful. He was emaciated. He looked like shit. He was acting like just a fucking prince, and it was just, God, fuck this guy. What a fucking douchebag. Just, ugh. And to know that he was on Chatterbait, just, it's a grim sort of satisfaction.
Like, he fell so far.
Serves him right. Fuck that guy. That I've never met and has lived a life I know nothing about.
Speaking of... This isn't really someone who's got like that. I saw someone mention something the other day. They were talking about like Lance Bass from NSYNC, and they were talking about his Twitter. And on his Twitter, he has in his Twitter bio where it says OG Sephiroth, because he did the voice for Sephiroth the first time he was ever voiced or something like that.
No shit.
So he's like he claims that he's like, I'm the OG Sephiroth.
That's fucking awesome.
It's pretty funny that he's like, yeah, I got to do that.
Who is this? Like Lance Bass?
Yeah, the one that tried to go... I think he tried to go to space, didn't he? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he tried to get Russia to shoot him into space.
No shit. What a dude.
He's trying to do stuff. I guess he made...
He's Lance Bass. He's the one... he came out, right?
Yeah.
And he was hosting a bunch of shit for a while. Like he was trying to do the
Maybe.
whole Seacrest thing, I think.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't keep up with enough, like, reality TV to know. I mean, when they have things like... those shows have just devolved into such a fucking shit show. You see what they have now where it's like they put people, they dress them up in costumes, and it's like, who is it?
The Masked Singer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I saw an ad for another one where it's just people lip syncing, and they're like, do you think they can really sing? Who can really sing? And then it's just like a panel of celebrity judges is like, I don't know, do you think that guy can sing? He looks like it. And
that's fucking riveting television.
Prime time like national television.
I'm not against it. Fuck it. People like what they like. I've been surprised at a few. Like, look, I had this like fuck reality TV mentality for a long time, and I finally gave in.
There's some stuff I can give in on too, like stuff we watch with your life, like Love After Lockup. I love it. That shit's dope.
That's what I was about to talk
that
about.
Shit
Love
is
After
great.
Lockup is fucking hilarious.
That night we went to that concert and then spent like 3 hours afterward watching Catfish. That
Holy
shit was amazing.
Shit. That was better than the concert.
I had a great time. Went and got Jack in the Box and watched Catfish for like 3 hours.
Oh my god, that was fucking awesome.
We got so much material out of that one guy for like
it's
over a year.
Messy. It's messy.
Shout outs to Trez, wherever you
I
are.
hope you're doing well, dude. I hope it's not messy. Holy shit, that guy was cool.
I don't know if what he did was good or not, because, I mean, it was a pretty shitty situation, but I like that guy all the same.
Right? What a fucker. It was so funny about it, though. What do you bring her here for? Shit. Man, I've been catfishing this bitch for like 2 years, man. This is gonna be messy. This is gonna be messy.
But yeah, like that stuff, like some of that stuff I can get behind. Then you have other stuff that like Dirty Job, which like that lasted for whatever
That's
it did.
fine. But like,
that's fine. But like
Survivor Island or something. Big
like,
Brother.
Survivor and Big Brother, I can still kind of understand. It's like things like The Masked Singer or lip sync bullshit that I feel like
they're not even doing anything.
We are like tiptoeing up to that idiocracy line.
Right.
And we're just waiting to just like, should I just do it?
What's
Should I
next?
just do it? And like, when are we just gonna just fall face first over it and then just say fuck it?
I think we're there. Maybe we're there. We're just too dumb to know it.
Maybe. I mean, Donald Trump's
Like
president. He's not a pro wrestler, but
let me tell you,
he kind of is.
From personal experience, dumbness is insidious. Like it's hard to know. Like I don't even know that I'm dumb most of the time. Like I'll just be talking to people, like just saying words. I'm just saying fucking words to them, and then like I'll leave, and I'm like, fuck, like.
I just sounded like a ranting
I just
lunatic.
said a bunch of dumb shit to these people, you know, like just
spewed a bunch of bullshit out, and they're probably like, "What the fuck was that guy's problem?"
That guy? Yeah, but probably not. They're probably like, "Fuck it, yeah," and they're going and spewing bullshit of their own. Like I think we might all be so dumb that we don't even know that we're dumb.
That's probably true. Because you can go up to people as long as you have that right cadence and the way you talk to them and the way you carry yourself. And if you can lead the conversation, they'll probably think whatever you're saying is true.
Right.
A lot of people, you would be surprised how many people aren't willing to like fact check shit on their phone immediately.
I don't. I fucking never
should.
Do. I never do. That's how I got into the whole.
And people start talking about, what about this? Well, I wish I knew about that. And I'm like, guys, you realize that you have these.
You have a means.
Like you have the compiled knowledge of humanity in your pocket.
You could look this shit up.
It's very simple. You could look up way better stuff than who did the voice of the baby and look who's talking. Way better stuff.
But that's what we do.
That's what we do. It's Bruce Willis, by the way.
Got a shout out to Bruce. But I got what was it? Dude was telling me about the adrenochrome, Hillary Clinton eating babies and sucking adrenochrome out their buttholes or something like that.
Okay, sure.
The whole like pedophile elite Illuminati shit. And I got sucked in, like, and I like to think that I fact check things and I'm smart, but I got sucked into this, and like I got all like fired up, like how dare we, like Ellen DeGeneres, Tom Hanks fled to Greece, like oh my god, like this is fucking happening right under our noses. I gotta tell people, so I called my brother to let him know, sound the alarm,
right?
And he was like, hang on, and then he like fact checked. He's like, no, like none of this is true. Like you're full. Like Oprah's not in prison, dude. Like you're a fucking idiot. And he's like, where did you hear this shit from? And I was like,
guy,
YouTube. And he was like,
I thought you were gonna say this is a guy at the liquor store.
No, it's the guy. I hang out with him sometimes. Like he's a dude. He comes over and has a beer. But he was telling me about it. And he shared with me the YouTube video, and I watched it. And I didn't fact check not a goddamn thing. And I called my brother, and my brother fact checked a goddamn thing, and was like, you're a fucking moron. And I was like, fuck, I'm that dude. Like, thank God I only called him. Because God knows, like, what if I hadn't called him immediately? What if I'd gone to a bar, gotten half drunk, and just started spouting this shit off? And then they're like, holy fuck, and they go and spout shit off.
Because people would have said, wow, this is Hunter, and, he's a smart guy.
Mm-hmm. Nobody says that. Nobody says that.
Speaking of that, I saw,
what if they did?
I was in Conway probably a month and a half ago, and I saw a Save the Children rally going on.
Nice.
It was like, because I was still at the point where this is still a thing. This is still happening. Okay.
Well, look, there is a sex trade market. There are a lot of kids that, and there's some. And I think anytime you think anything shady's going on, you look into it. Now, at least you look into it. And that's, we got fucking Epstein that way. Probably should have gotten a lot of others, but at least we got that fucking psycho. But anytime there's something shady, you look into it. So I'm not against the whole Save the Children thing, perhaps. Per se. But I am against, mindless vilification of my boy Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks was Castaway, man. Tom Hanks is... How you gonna fucking Forrest Gump like that?
It's just... It's like you say.
I'm not a smart man, Timmy, but I know what love is. Oh.
It's just... I don't know. I'm amazed at what people will be willing to believe immediately.
Yeah.
And the things that they will...
outrage, man. We love...
A lot of that ties back in, and a lot of that ties back into, what we were talking about earlier. Because people have their groups they identify with, and maybe their group doesn't believe so much in flattening the curve, as opposed to, there are people out here raping all the kids. Your kids are probably getting raped and sold right now.
We are not the same.
Yeah, sheep. Sheep.
You're worried about masks. I'm worried about trans-dimensional lizards drinking our baby bloods.
We
are not the same.
It's like you say. I agree that there's some gross shit going on because I feel like people that are elite.
Epstein.
People that are elite, they're different than us. They operate on some weird level, and they need weird, fucked up ways to get their rocks off.
All of them.
A lot of them. What do you do? Once you reach a certain point, you don't get, the same thrill out of, driving a Corvette. Getting on a jet ski.
Right.
Going skydiving. Right. That's pedestrian shit. It's you know what I want to do?
I'm a fucking armadillo.
It'd probably start small. Be you know what I do? I want to choke out a bald eagle.
Right.
You know what I want to
start out small.
That was pretty fucking rad. That probably is for them. And then it goes from there to things you know what I want to do?
I want to go to.
I want to pull the lever, or not pull the lever. People don't go to the electric chair anymore. It's I want to basically pull the lever. I want to
kill a hooker.
I want to push the needle.
I want to kill a hooker.
I was going to say maybe they find a way to do it legally before they go to that, but
One would hope.
But I want to kill a hooker.
One would hope it starts small like that.
A hooker, maybe a hobo first, because someone that obviously
some Jack the Ripper shit
that isn't tied to anyone, and then
before you know it, you're sucking adrenochrome out of a baby's skull.
Exactly.
Next thing you know,
it sneaks up on you.
I don't want that.
And then again, I don't know. Maybe that's a wild idea on its own. I feel like it's not. Maybe not to the certain degree, but
there's evidence to suggest that it's not. Epstein is a thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that everybody that went over there was fucking kids, but some of them were.
Yeah.
And I don't how do you get to that fucking point? And this is the thing that weirds me out. Because we're talking about, this sort of aristocratic decadence.
Yeah.
Where they're so fucking done with worldly shit that they're just, reaching for the next taboo, so they're fucking kids. And we don't think about like your regular everyday Eugenes that work like Subway that has like, you know, an SD card with a bunch of fucking kiddie porn on it. You know, like he didn't get there.
He just
like that dude just came out all fucked off.
I don't know, man.
I kind of feel bad for those dudes. Like I mean, again,
I feel like that's going down probably more the road of some type of mental illness.
Yeah, that's exactly how I think of it.
Some type of weird acquired fucking psycho shit, or who knows? Maybe those people are like that too, and they just had the drive to become successful. Who the fuck knows?
Right. Like Eugene was like, no,
of course,
I'm watching kiddie porn. I'm good.
That's why there are people who are super successful who are just like, you know what, man, I like going to Hawaii once a year, I like to travel wherever I want, whenever I want. That's enough for me. I can do whatever. I have what I work on.
You're Joe Rogan's. Just make a shit ton of money, and I'm going to go hunting sometimes.
Yeah, just normal self-made people.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't fucking get it, man. It's like the Eugene's, like I feel like I do think of it as like a mental illness, at least in that case, and because I kind of feel bad for him. That's not to say like that it's cool, because it's super not.
No,
but I do kind of feel bad for him, and you know.
I mean, we've talked
short of a lobotomy. What do you fucking do?
We've talked about this before. I mean, of course, right off the bat, when you hear about a person like that, you want to just say, like, fucking castrate them, shoot them, take them in the field, and blow their brains out.
Yeah, and I absolutely get that knee-jerk reaction. It's a really emotional subject. Yeah. Something
we really need to do is, like...
But you can't think of it like... you can't think of it like peanut allergies, though, because it's way more harmful than that.
That's very true.
You know, that's sort of what we've been doing.
It's something that you can't just like, okay, you just go back out into the world and we're just going to like study you.
Right.
Because you can't let them have free reign. I don't know how you approach it.
Well, like come to therapy and do this because clearly that shit's not working. Like the number of like repeat offenders it's incredibly fucking high. You know, so like this is a compulsion that is supersedes therapy and shit, you know, like it's not a fucking peanut allergy
like
where you can just be like, well, avoid peanuts and you'll be good. Yeah, it's an urge. And I don't know like I said, like short of lobotomizing, what the fuck do you fucking do? I get the knee-jerk reaction to just blow their fucking heads off.
It would be nice to try and figure it out, some way to address it, but it's also not worth just letting them do what they do, because what if they get loose? Even if you're watching...
They fucking get loose. Like, we just got a pan of them.
Exactly. It's like you're watching them
really... The pedos are out!
You're watching them really close and everything, right? But it's like some fucking security guard falls asleep at the helm and just all of a sudden this guy realizes... He's like, oh, shit. He's like, and he just makes a break for the nearest fucking elementary school and just... He's so impulsive at this point. He just grabs a kid and goes for it. There's no grooming or anything.
Just goes fucking like a pig in a trough. Until somebody pulls him off. Yeah, that's
And then you get right back into like, well, let's just start shooting them.
Right. What do we do? Well,
we tried.
We tried.
Just put out a PSA. It's like, listen, fuckers. Listen
we tried.
Pedos. We tried.
Y'all tried. Y'all fucked us.
And you fucked it up too many times. So now what? You know what's going to happen? You even think about going near a butt, then you get one in the head. That's it.
Get one in the head.
And then we're going to throw you in a ditch.
I don't think there's a threat level you could put on these motherfuckers.
I don't think there is either. I think it's just one
because
of those
it pretty much at this point is like
it's like imagine if a heterosexual relationship was taboo and you couldn't do that. Oh no! There's too many people in the world. You guys have got to stop.
And it was just at the point like we'll put a fucking bullet in your head.
You got to stop fucking people.
Too many people here can't have you breathing.
It's like you know what? Maybe you can masturbate. Do whatever you want. That it's not going to matter,
right?
But it's too many people. Somebody's going to be like, you know what? I need some pussy.
I know what? Pussy.
I need some dick.
Right.
And it's going to get to the point that they're just going to do it.
Yep.
They're going to go crazy.
Oh man. I don't know what you did. How do pedophiles recover?
How do they recover?
I don't think you do, man. I think that's just a condition. And I'm not comfortable with this idea of just suppress it Like, I'm not comfortable with that being, like, an urge
right?
that one
it's
has to suppress.
Like, just pray the gay away.
Yeah, that's horrifying to me. Well, like, the whole pray the gay, like, at worst, like...
Of course it doesn't work. There's no rhyme for pedo.
Right? Of course it doesn't work.
There's no rhyme.
Yeah. It's like orange. Like, nothing rhymes with pedo. I'm just racking my brain for anything at this point. Nothing.
Well, nothing that has to do with the church anyway, I guess.
Maybe if you're Italian. Presto away the... Nah, it still doesn't work. Yeah, fuck them guys. I'm not saying just go... There's a big danger in saying just, like, kill a pedophile. Because we're bad judges of anything. You know, like, how do you identify that? And oh my god, it's terrifying, all the shit that's out that's like how to identify a predator and stuff like that. And it's just like some people are just genuinely cool kids. Like, just because they're talking to a kid doesn't mean they're trying to fuck kids. Like, I don't like that alarmist shit because that's going to get people hurt.
I don't even like kids that I don't know approaching me in public because, like I'm usually like a big bald-headed dude in my mid-30s by myself most of the time.
Fuck yeah, I steer clear of kids. They scare me.
And it's like, don't talk to me. Like, there's lots of times that a kid has come up and just started talking to me, and it's like, don't talk to me, child. And I will literally just turn around and leave because, like, what if their parent just sees them talking to this fucking adult?
Right.
How's that look? I know how that looks. Especially if I haven't been, like, shaving my head and I have my shitty hairline going on like I do right now.
Right, I know what I think when I see my kids talking to a stranger. I'm immediately like, they're trying to fuck my kids. You'd be a nice old lady that my kid just ran up to and started blah-blahing to about her day. And as soon as this lady turns and acknowledges my daughter, I'm like, she's trying to fuck my kid. I'm gonna kill this lady. Meemaw. Get away from your great-granddaughter.
I think what we have to realize is we just gotta leave the kids at home.
Right?
Just leave them at home.
Corbin's the best thing that ever happened for him.
It's true. We're blessed when you think about it.
Right? Keep them at home. Oh man, it's a scary thing. I'm curious, like, is like sexual misconduct with kids, is that on the rise? Like the instances of it, is that on the rise, or is it just them being reported, or me being able to read it?
I'm always of the mind that we're able to be more aware of this stuff nowadays,
right?
Because we're bombarded with information, as opposed to even 20 years ago,
right? But it's alarming though because I get on Facebook and I see shit and it'll just be a picture of a dude. Like, not a mug shot, nothing like that, just a picture of a dude. And then underneath it, it'll be like, this motherfucker beat a little girl. Like, you see this sick son of a bitch fuck him up. And it's just like, whoa, like, hold the fucking phone here. Like, we don't know anything. And people are just sharing the shit out of it. And it's like, this might just be some dude's ex-girlfriend that's just trying to get his shit kicked in, you know? Like,
that's true, too.
Like, this is alarming shit. Like, we can't be doing this.
You can...
This is a dangerous fucking road.
I mean, that's just certain people knowing what buttons to push to, like, that's all I have to do is show Ricky's picture on Facebook, say that he hit a little girl, say that he touched a little girl or whatever.
Right.
And then he'll just get his shit stomped out.
Right.
When he goes to Walmart to buy groceries.
I'm terrified. Like, I think, like, if something happened between me and my kid's mom, you know, not Brooke, but, like, if something happened there and she got, like, super pissed at me or something and just went off the fucking rails and just started plopping my picture on there, like, he beat our daughter, he's touching kids, he beat me up.
Yeah.
Like, I have no doubt there are plenty of people out there that would be like, I'm gonna fucking drive my ass all the way, I know where he lives, I'm gonna drive all the way out to his house and just fucking put a bullet in his head.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's the right thing to do.
Let the Lord sort him out.
Right? Like, go murder a pedo. That shit's like... Vigilantism, that only works in comic books, man. That's probably not a good idea that we just start practicing that. Yeah. There is, in this town, dude, where I live, they started this, like, community watch on Facebook. It was fucking awesome. They had people, take pictures of suspected drug houses. and people that you suspect are drug users and shit like that. So people are just taking pictures of people in their cars and their houses and shit and putting them on there and being like, this is a suspected drug house. And it's just like, what the fuck is going on here? And then other people were getting on there and they were like, this is my address. And they put their fucking address on the internet and then they're like, y'all watch our house, we're going out of town for the weekend. I really wanted to just roll by there and take pictures of their houses and be like, yo, this is a suspected drug house. But, see, that's why that shit's dangerous. You have little assholes like me that would do shit like that. And, but yeah, that was going on here. And they were doing like, nightly patrols where they would just like, they were gonna make badges.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no shit, dude. And it was just like, y'all remember Zimmerman? Y'all remember that whole thing? Like, that's
a lot of people. That's probably a lot of people have seen Tombstone one too many times. Right? People ready just to say, I'm your Huckleberry.
I think that's everybody's problem these days. They watch too much goddamn TV. Everybody wants to be the next
Doc Holliday.
TV dude.
Jack Bauer. No, that's
Jack Bauer, yeah.
I was going to say that, but that hasn't even been on the TV in a while. I've never even watched 24. I just know what it is.
Heard a lot about it, though. Yeah, everybody wants to be the... big problem in this town, whenever the whole Sons of Anarchy, when that was popping, that was real big. And all of a sudden, like, everybody's dad had a fucking motorcycle and a vest, and they're just fucking riding around on the weekends playing pretend at motorcycle gang.
Right.
And I was like, these are grown-ass men just aping what they're seeing on TV. Like, that's kind of horrifying.
It is, isn't it? I mean, I guess there's a lot of us that just don't grow up. That's no different than us watching fucking Ninja Turtles when we were kids playing pretend. Except they have a lot more means.
I think also we were kids when we were doing that. I'm not doing it now.
Right. Right? We're not pretending to be fucking Frank Castle.
I know I'm not Sonic the fucking Hedgehog. I know that. Like, I'm 35. But I'm not... I also know that I'm not a fucking biker gang
or fucking
soldier,
you know? Or fucking Walter White.
Yeah, well, it's these dudes and you're like, bro, like... You've got 2 kids and a dog in a 2-story house.
Dude, you drive the bread truck.
Like, you're my pharmacist. The fuck? But they grow goatees and, you know... Get a tattoo. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing to watch grown men do. I don't know. I guess
everybody's got to have a midlife crisis.
Our age is still trying to, we're still trying to divide each other up into fucking Hogwarts houses, which is.
It's not any better.
Yeah. Like, I would almost rather you pretend like you're selling drugs out of the back of your motorcycle. I would almost
That's
rather
one of
that.
the bit my face. Like, I remember seeing some article about Zoomers shitting all over millennials because all they're concerned about is like avocado toast and what Hogwarts house they belong to. And it's like, and as someone who gives zero fucks about either one of those things, I just want to sit back and watch like these kids are great.
Oh, dude, these
light these bitches on fire.
Dude,
I want to watch it burn.
What was it? I saw one of them was like. No, Becky, it's not 1 o'clock. It's 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, and you're an alcoholic. It's like, yes. Shit's fucking hilarious, man. Get them, Zoomers. Poor Zoomers, though, we named them all, so they all have really stupid fucking names.
We've talked about this so many
times. Poor little fuckers, man.
It's a bunch of little kids with extra Y's in their name.
Oh my god, dude. I feel so bad for them. Like, we fucked them over so bad. God, did we ever fuck them over? I saw one was named Hunter. This is in my daughter's class. His name's Hunter, but it's Huntyr. I'm just like,
dude,
fuck
I've
that.
seen so
His
many of
mom
that.
was
It's
white.
like Trayton,
right?
Brixton, stuff like that.
I'm seeing a lot of Braxtons with the Y, like YN, like Braxton. I've been seeing a lot of that. I'm not into it.
I don't know what brought that on. I don't know.
It's ye old.
Is it though? I don't think it
English,
is.
Man.
I don't think it is.
Well, I mean, what did they did a lot of weird shit where they're at putting E's at the ends of like a...
They would put E's at the end, like a ye old shoppy.
Yeah.
But it's just shop. But there was... I've never heard of any old-timey names of, like... You hear words like Wolfric. Like, that's an old-timey, like...
That's a good fucking name,
Yeah,
though.
but you know what's not in that name? Unnecessary wise.
But they could.
They could, but you know what? It's not there. That's why it's a bunch of... It's a bunch of chicks in, like really tight skinny jeans with a floppy hat and
oversized sunglasses
and a big cardigan talking about pumpkin spice, and then their husband has like Salt Life on the back glass of his truck, and he's just trying to keep the fucking bills paid. He's like, whatever, you're still hot, name her whatever you want, I don't fucking care.
And that's how we get like Brittany with the 4 Ys.
Yes.
Yeah. I gave my kids very like traditional names. Like you don't fucks with tradition.
I don't want kids, but if I ever had one, I always said that they would. If it was a guy, his name would be something like Frank or Joe. Something simple. John,
Rick,
Jack,
Richard.
No, not Richard.
Yeah, Richard.
No,
Dick.
That's just gonna go to Dick.
Yeah.
Were you taking it back?
Taking it back.
And if it was a girl, it would be something like Claire,
Eustace,
or not that. No, we're not gonna go that old.
Myrtle.
Not quite like Eunice or Eustace or something like Sarah, Claire, Jane.
Claire, that's a good one. Claire.
Jill. Simple names.
But they would do Jill, but it would be Jyll. Or G.
Gylle.
Jill.
And then she probably did that to trick her husband, like, it's like your ghillie suit. And he's like, oh shit.
Like a ghillie.
Like a ghillie. What y'all ghillied up? Goddamn.
He just calls her Gil.
Come on, Gil. We're going up to Deerwoods. He loves it. He don't care.
He doesn't give a shit. Football's on. The world is good. I like those guys though. Like I've got several friends like they're the just dad as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, the button-up shirt, khaki shorts, boat shoes, you know, Sperry's or whatever. You know, they do the Oakleys with the lanyard and all that shit.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Those dudes go over there. They're drinking like fancy IPA, blah 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 shit. You know?
Oh yeah.
And they're doing all that stuff. And they're fucking swell dudes. Like they're great guys, good sense of humor, love hanging out with them and shit. So I'm not like shitting on the culture, white dad culture. It's just not something I share it much, and it's hard for me to understand sometimes.
No, I understand. They're all guys. It's like, you know what? I could hang out with you every now and then. We could kick it,
right?
Do some work talk,
right?
All that stuff.
That's usually what we talk about too.
Yeah,
work and
simple stuff.
Work, women. Talk a lot about women. I don't give a shit. I'm old school sexist. I'll talk about women when women are around.
You ain't gonna wait for the sit downs to leave?
No, you gotta wait till the sit downs leave. But once they home, we couldn't talk about cunt. No, not like that. I mean more the like listen to this shit my wife did type stuff. Yeah.
This
not the. Could you imagine the split on her? Not that. That's gross.
Let me tell you what this bitch did.
Right?
It's like he's crossing the street.
Right. Let me tell you what this bitch done said to me the other night. Yeah, man, I'm down with that. I know my wife does it. Shit, she doesn't even wait till I leave the room, and it hurts my feelings. Like, I wish she would get better at that. Letting me get out of the room before she starts talking shit.
She's toughening you up.
For what?
I don't know.
What's she toughening me up for? Is there some, like, grand battle that's coming around, like, some, that I'm going to have to...
She's got to keep you sharp.
A bunch of people are going to, like, just bring up my shortcomings, and I'm going to have to deal with that?
It lets her keep the jabs in without having to worry about making you too upset.
Right. That's fair. She's a fucking sweetheart. I'll let her get away with it. But yeah, when she's out of the room, shit, yeah. I'm talking mad shit about my wife. I'm an asshole. Terrible asshole.
How do you recover from that?
You go to church, read your Bible. Though I gotta say, like, my very Christian family, like all the dudes in that, they all do the same shit. Like, as soon as their wives are out of the room, they're just talking shit.
Oh yeah, that's always been a thing. It's just how they deal with married life.
Right? That's fair. That's fair. You gotta get it out somehow. Not all of us can afford a fucking therapist.
Right.
So, we get together and we all, dig through each other's trash.
Dump your purse out.
Right. Right. What was it I was telling somebody? Was like, they were just laying, I was drunk as fuck, but they were just laying some shit on me, man. Like, I was, it was a happy occasion.
I think you told me about this.
Yeah, they were just laying shit on me.
You told me about this the other day because you're like, listen, I'm not your fucking therapist.
Yeah, I'm not your therapist, man. Like, I don't go to my mom's house and just throw my fucking trash in her backyard. Like, you go to the dump.
Well, it's like you said, it was someone who you probably don't talk to often enough for this to be okay.
Right. We're familiar, but not quite like that.
Yeah. Like, we're friendly acquaintances.
And also, I was drunk. It was just, What you want, little girl?
All this stuff is me.
We're having a break.
Right in cursive.
Add, dad, gig. I know.
Is that ADA? Or was that what that was going to be? ADA? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I can understand that.
Gotcha. You have very good handwriting. Shoot, yeah, I love it. Good job.
These three ones are the best ones.
It's better than I can do. My handwriting's filthy.
I can teach you if you want.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Good job, kiddo.
Did you even learn cursive?
Did you even learn cursive?
Once upon a time.
Girl, my generation. Yeah, we learned cursive.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I guess this is a good time to, we'll leave this, we'll cut this out.
Yeah, back on the subject of therapy. Sorry, I had to piss.
No, it's fine. I think that's a good spot we can use
call
to.
it?
I mean, call it if you want to.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we could. I was gonna just clip all that out anyway.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Just that'd be a little bit of a dead spot. We're coming up on a couple hours.
How far away are we?
We're at about an hour 52.
Oh shit, we can fill it.
You want to fill it?
Yeah, let's fill
All
it.
right, let's fill it.
We going? We're rolling still. All right.
So to tie all this back around to recovery
Yeah.
of all types.
Well, physically, I wanted to after because I have a bit of a routine after I work out, and just my post recovery period. And it's not it's not extensive, but it's drink a protein shake, get my creatine and stuff like that. And if I got time, and I usually these days I'm doing stretching afterwards. Like I stretch before and I stretch a little bit afterwards, and then I like to lay down, try to catch a nap, maybe read a book or something. But I kill a good 30, 45 minutes just laying down,
Right.
just resting up. And that's how I like recovery. But if I'm going hard, I'm gonna eat some steak and eggs, with my protein shake and all that. If I'm going real hard, I'll do that, and then I'll lay down. But these days, it's just a protein shake, maybe a banana.
I've never been much for naps, but I would always get back, eat something.
Not necessarily a nap, just a period of just rest, inactivity. Like I'm just laying down.
just relaxation or
Yeah.
something. No, yeah. That's a lot of what that's pretty much what I would do. What I've always been fond of is I would just get done, I'd come home, get cleaned up, have something to eat, and then probably watch TV or something, or in some cases, like I was working on schoolwork, it just depends what's going on. Something that's just kind of chill, zone out for a little bit.
Well, I read up on recovery naps, And they actually seem like they're supposed to be pretty long, like an hour to 2 hours, something like that. Like that seems.
See,
like I don't got fucking time for that shit.
I feel like if you sleep in more than 30 minutes, that's not even. That's more. That's a nap is like 30 minutes.
30
tops.
minutes, yeah.
I feel like if you're down for at least an hour, you went to sleep.
Yeah, that's sleep.
You went to sleep.
I would let you get up to an hour and still call it a nap. But for me, yeah, 30 minutes, 30, 45 minutes, I'm good. And usually I'm not sleeping. I'm laying there reading or, working on D&D shit, something.
Right.
It's just, it's a period of I'm just laying down inactivity and letting my shit rest up. And I was reading on these about these recovery naps. First of all, they seem really long. Also, they seem like you have to actually go to sleep. Like there's a mental rest you have to have or some shit.
Right.
And it's like, that is fucking extensive. Like that's assuming I can just fucking pop off to fucking sleep like that. That's
right.
insane.
That seems like something you really have to train yourself to do because I don't like taking naps unless I'm sick because usually if I do, I'll be up all night.
Right.
Like if I slept for an hour during the day, even if let's say that I got up.
Yeah, a 1 hour nap is the equivalent of like 4 hours of hard not sleep. Like
let's imagine that like I get up at like 7 and I'm working a regular day where I work from like 2 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Right.
I get up and we'll say I'm on a more normal routine. I get up, get ready to go to the gym. I'm there. I'll probably get back at like 9 or 9:30,
right,
depending on what I do, and then I get cleaned up. And I've got time after I eat. But if I took an hour, let's say I took an hour nap and I woke up at like noon. I still got a couple hours before I need to be at work. I would get home that night and I would probably not go to bed until 3 or 4 in the morning.
Right.
Because I took an hour nap.
Naps fuck me up like that too.
Yeah.
I can't like and when you're operating on that level again, like you're looking for that extra like 1% shit like that. And I agree, sleep is amazing for your body. But like, I can't fucking afford to do that shit. I can't. For one, I can't make myself go to sleep like that. That's utter insanity to me.
I have to take, like, melatonin or Benadryl or something to help me sleep in the first place. It's very hard for me to just go to sleep normally. Unless, like I said, unless I'm sick.
Right. Yeah, I can't just lay there and just pass out. Like, I'm going to need, like, to go to bed at night, like, I need a book. I need a good 45 minutes of, like, getting into that book, and then, like, I'll probably be able to go to sleep after that in about, like, 15, 20 minutes. But it takes, it's a long fucking time for me to actually get my shit to shut down and shut up.
Yeah, I've always been jealous of those people that can just go right to sleep.
Dude, my dad could do that. He would, like, sit in his chair and kick his feet up, and it would be, like, 3 minutes. He would just call it. He'd be like, I'm gonna take a quick nap. He'd just kick his feet up and fucking out within minutes, just snoring and shit. And Brooke does that shit sometimes. She'll just be like, I'm gonna take a nap. And she'll just lay down and just the fuck out. I'm like, how do you fucking do that? What magic is this?
I've never been able, like, my ex used to take naps, but she would always want me to nap with her too. But she was also one of those people that would take like a 2 or 3 hour nap.
Yeah, Brooke does that. She'll sleep for like 3 hours.
And then she would like go to bed at normal time that night.
Yeah.
I don't see how. How do you do that?
Right.
Like, I can't operate on that.
I'm doing good. If I hit 6 hours of sleep in a day, like at night, if I get 6 unbroken hours of sleep, like I'm doing pretty fucking good. And I shoot for 8, but I'm happy if I hit 6.
Yeah.
And it's usually around like 7, 7.5, something like that. I'm pretty happy with that. Sometimes, like the other night, I got 9.5. That shit was nuts. But yeah, I don't get fucking take a nap. Like I'll lay down. Like, I'm the rest my eyes guy. I'll rest my eyes. I ain't going to sleep. Like, that shit ain't going to happen. Do a lot of reading.
What do you normally do when you don't feel it? Let's say you get up in the morning and you don't want to go.
Don't want to work out?
Don't want to do we'll say anything. Workout's a good jumping off point for what we've been talking about, I guess, at this point. We've talked about everything. I know routine.
Like get the fuck up and do it anyways.
Routine helps a lot, and even though I didn't really want to for a while, I was still doing it out of routine because it was just it's that thing where like your routine and your discipline will keep you going when your motivation dries up because your motivation does piddle out every once in a while.
Oh shit yeah.
But that routine that really just that perpetual motion you have. of things really keeps you in it.
I a lot of times whenever I can feel that coming on, like I'll just be like, because I'll be like mid workout or like starting it, and it's just like, like this shit, you know.
Yeah.
And usually that's when like I'll like try to in my head like come up with a bunch of different exercises to do. Like it might hit the same shit, but just a different way of doing it.
Right.
You know, so I'm just changing things up a little bit like that. I try to do that. And a lot of it's just like I get up and I'm just basically just slap myself around, just like come the fuck on, like you're gonna do this shit, like you know you're gonna do it. It's almost like going to work sometimes, like you're gonna do it, you know. And those are always the worst fucking workouts because they don't feel like I'm being, because they're not productive, because I'm not going, you know, I'm not going for intensity or anything like that.
You're basically just going
through the motions.
You're just getting your heart rate up.
It's a deload. It's a deload. But yeah.
No, I remember you asked me every now and then about taking some that are like, oh, this is for me, and then just doing a bunch of squats or deadlifts or whatever. And I've never really done that. I've always been such a creature of habit, and it feels like if I try to do anything different, it puts such a monkey wrench into everything.
Fuck it. I got the rest of my life to work out. I'll do, like, some days I'll go in, I'll just, like I'll be doing bench, and I'll just be like, I'm really feeling it. Like, I'm doing well at it. The motion feels good. Everything, like, I can tell my form's spot on. I feel strong, you know? And I'll just be like, man, fuck the rest of this shit. I'm about to fucking do all the bench today. And I'll just do it all fucking day long. You know, that's just what I'm doing, is I'm doing bench, and I'll love it. But, no, I try not to do that all the time. I'll try to stick to a routine, but every now and then I'll have one for me where I'm just, you know, I'll spend 2 hours just doing arms.
Right.
Probably won't be.
I mean, you got injured, but do you feel any real difference in between working out at home versus going to a gym? Do you like it any more or less?
Fuck yeah. I like it a lot more. For one, I don't have to wear headphones, which is cool, because I don't have to maneuver them. You know, I got AirPod money, so I've got them like $30 Sony shits with like a rope between the two of them.
Right.
It's more like a lanyard.
God, I think I accidentally threw mine away the other day, and it makes me so mad. I have some older ones that I bought the first time I bought Bluetooth headphones, because I sweat so much I was worried a normal pair would like fizzle out.
Right.
So I've started using them again, but they're too fucking fancy for their own good. These have like touch controls, so like if you touch it, it'll pause or play. If you accidentally hold it too long, it'll switch it from Bluetooth mode.
Oh, so just trying to push it in your ear or something?
Yeah, it'll switch it to like, because I have to like actually put them in and twist them.
Right.
And get them just right. And if you hold it too long, it switches it from fucking Bluetooth mode to MP3 mode, because apparently these have built-in storage. You can put
ballers.
You can put like, I didn't even realize this until like a month ago, and it's like you can install like up to like, I think it's something like 100-something songs.
Oh shit!
Just in the headphones.
All right.
And I was like, well, that's kind of cool to know. I wish they were a little easier to fucking operate. The hardest part is just getting it in my fucking earlobe or in my ear hole without swapping it from Bluetooth to MP3 or vice versa.
Right.
Because sometimes, and my other ones, it was just simple. Pick them up, put them in.
Yeah.
These, I have to pick them up and twist them so they slide right in. And I think it's because they're supposed to rest in there just right, because they're meant to be used like underwater or some shit.
What the fuck?
They're called like JBL dives, but I bought them because they were made to be swam in.
So you could sweat all over them.
So I could sweat all over them. And then finally I happened to find a nice pair of Sonys that were on like fucking clearance at Walmart, and I was like, these are way nicer, and I don't have to fucking fight with them.
Is it the ones does it have like a little lanyard thing?
It has a lanyard, yeah.
And it's got the little push button thing, like
what,
to the side of it?
The Sonys?
Yeah. Like to turn it on.
They were like just on. They had a little like thing next to the earphone part, and you just pressed it on it. Like it had a power, and it didn't really have. I think it had ways to like skip tracks and stuff like that, but it didn't have anything else. But I'm guessing that I just was cleaning my car out and accidentally threw them the fuck away because I cannot find them. It pisses me off so much.
I still use it. Like I go for walks and I use mine and shit, but yeah, working out here, like I get to just use my speakers, you know?
Yeah.
Just use that. I don't have to wait for anything. Nobody's tried to take a picture of me. It's Sounds.
People were trying to take pictures of you?
I had some fucking old dude come up on me, man, like in the fucking Planet Fitness, trying to fucking take a picture of me while I was banging out some bench. And this dude comes up, like, sneaking up towards, my feet with this fucking camera out. And I was like, dude, what are you fucking doing?
He's Jim
And he was
intimidating
like,
you.
no, he was like, getting pictures for my website. And I was like, apparently he was like a physical trainer. He's like this old dude with a potbelly and shit, but he's a personal trainer.
I think he was Jim intimidating you.
Well, I was Jim intimidated. I told him to fuck off. I was like, don't. He was like, try to get some pictures for my website. I was like, don't. And it was so weird, but I haven't had shit like that happen. It doesn't happen at home.
I can understand that.
And nothing. The worst thing that happens here is I have cats trying to climb on me whenever I'm doing stuff sometimes. And that's not so bad.
Do you ever have your wife come in and just sound the lunk alarm just to make it feel like you're back at the gym?
No. She doesn't watch me at all. I don't like her watching me work out. I don't like
Oh, really?
her. I get really self-conscious in front of her. Like, I can go to the gym in front of a bunch of strangers and I don't give a shit, but, like, working out in front of my wife feels weird. Like, I'll do it, like, during the whole, like, COVID thing, and all I had was some dumbbells. So I needed a lot of space to move around and shit.
Right.
During that time, like, I had to work out in front of her. And it was really weird. I did it. I did it despite it, but it was really weird. I didn't like it. And
Right.
she would say shit to me. Like, it sounds like you're having sex. It's just, like, man, fucking fuck
What,
off.
just like ribbing you?
Yeah, well, I'm working out. Just like, man, fuck off.
Well, I think that was a good place to stop. I think we did a job.
Did a job.
We did a job.
We did a job.
That's what we're going to leave it at. We did a job.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretty it up. I'm going to basically convert it into a file, and you're going to post it on Facebook.
Yeah.
So everyone can tell us this is gay.
Yeah.
You probably have less people tell you than would if I actually put it on mine. Also, I don't want to reactivate my Facebook for this.
I wouldn't.
Bad idea.
I wouldn't. I'm gonna just YouTube it. I guess I have to put it on Facebook.
Well, it'll be a link.
Yeah.
It'll be a link. That's pretty much it. All right.
Good job.
Good job. That's our outro.
Ooh, I can make a.
Now I got to get over here to fucking stop it.